Yo, yo. Yo, yo. Good. All right, let's get to it.
Old jeans after I gifted him these.
Trust me, these
Yesterday, Congressman Massey and I went to the Department of Justice to read the unredacted Epstein files. We spent about 2 hours there, and we learned that 70 to 80% of the files are still redacted.
That's insane. 70 to 80%. Mind you, that for the Epstein Transparency Act that went into law, Trump signed it into law, it says that any redaction needs an explicit explanation why it's redacted, right? They're not allowed to leave people out just because it's embarrassing. And they're especially not allowed to leave people out if they committed crimes, right? So,
In fact, there were 6 wealthy, powerful men that the DOJ hid for no apparent reason. When Congressman Massey and I pointed this out to the Department of Justice, they acknowledged their mistake, and now they have revealed the identity of these 6 powerful men.
they're really putting the pressure on them, right? Because at the end of the day, like Khanna isn't really that powerful in the grand scheme of things, right? Like he is just a congressional representative from California, but because he is just on this anti PDF file wave that he's on, and he managed to get the one Republican with even a mild sense of integrity to join him, he is just bulldozing, yo. He's just fucking cleaning up shop. It's kind of incredible to see, honestly.
These men are Salvatore Navora, Zorab Mikaladze, Leopig Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO of Dubai Ports World.
He's naming names, yo. And I know there's like so many of the Epstein files that like still haven't even been like exposed to the light, but it's like, damn, son. I never thought I'd see the day where they're just openly saying like, yeah, this motherfucker is the CEO for Dubai, whatever.
Billionaire businessman Leslie Wexner, who was labeled as a co-conspirator by the FBI. Now,
That one kind of hurt just because he's the co-founder of Bath and Body Works, and I'm really on my like moisture shit lately, like my skincare routine and hair care, and like, oh my god, that's such a good store. But damn, like your co-founder is a fucking international sex trafficker. What the fuck? Also, he's a perfect example of like they're protecting people because why is he not getting investigated if the FBI literally said that he's a co-conspirator? That's like why wasn't he just picked up on the spot is my real question. Like this shit goes so deep and it's been lasting for so long that it's just like exposing all the times that they could have did something but didn't. It's just like embarrassing, you know?
question is, why did it take Thomas Massey and me going to the Justice Department to get these 6 men's identities to become public?
Mind you, this is the Justice Department. That's the most Orwellian part. Just like every single department is like the opposite now. With the Department of Education is the Department of Stupidity. Why do I need to march down to the Department of Justice and demand to see the fucking names of the pedophile sex traffickers? Like, why aren't you like picking them up right now? Is the real question, right? Oh my god.
And if we found 6 men that they were hiding in 2 hours, imagine how many men they are covering up for in those 3 million files. But the story gets worse. The reality is that Donald Trump's FBI scrubbed these files in March.
There's so much of the Epstein files that are definitely destroyed, like lost to history probably, because any shit that was super true, that was like super vivid and descriptive, like they definitely destroyed those to the best of their ability at least, right? Like these were scrubbed back in March. Like it took a while for this Epstein shit to get off the ground. This wasn't the Democrats' first strategy, so it's like they knew that this shit was coming. They knew it was coming because their base wanted it. So who knows how much shit like is just not even. I don't know.
Long before Thomas Massey and I passed the Epstein Transparency Act. Now, my bill is clear. The Epstein Transparency Act requires them to unredact those FBI files. And yet the Justice Department said to me and to Congressman Massey, we just uploaded whatever the FBI sent us. And guess what? The FBI sent scrubbed files.
Oh my God. It's like we're really at the phase of the government now where it's like you can't trust a word that these motherfuckers say. At least the federal government, right? I mean, the Democrats aren't even a reliable counterpoint because a lot of the same things that corrupt the Trump administration corrupt them as well. But at least at least the Democrats are anti-pedophile, at least, except for like John Fetterman, I guess. But like like this is the only issue the Democrats are truly united on because they know that it makes them look bad to be fucking diddlers and shit.
That means the survivor's statement to the FBI naming rich and powerful men who went to Epstein's island, who went to his ranch, who went to his home and raped and abused underage girls or saw underage girls being paraded, they're all hidden. They're all redacted. It's a little bit of a farce. They're inviting all the members of Congress to go to see the Department of Justice, quote unquote, unredacted files, but they've got all redacted files from the FBI.
They really want to seem like they're complying really bad just because if they don't comply, then there's other legal strategies that can be used against them, but they're really not complying. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, totally. Come look at the files. And they show you just a bunch of blacked out pages. And also Trump is explicitly disrespectful. Like that's part of their political strategy, like part of their philosophy. So like, yeah, fuck you. Like, no. Come look at the files. Fuck you. Suck my dick. So Pam Bondi said, suck my balls. And Ro Khanna is like, you know what? All right, fuck it. Like Leslie Wexner, he's in that shit. Like, and they're in skiffs too. I'm assuming that they can't like bring writing materials in that bitch. So like they're probably just like, okay, Leslie Wexner. Okay, I'm literally gonna go to Congress right now and be like, Leslie Wexner fucks kids. Like, I don't know.
And it's not the fault of the Justice Department attorneys. They were just told upload things that Donald Trump's FBI had already scrubbed. It's a blatant violation of the Epstein Transparency Act, but it also asks a fundamental question. Who are they protecting?
Ro Khanna really is an American hero for getting that Epstein transparency shit off the ground. Like, I as a leftist or, left-leaning person, whatever the fuck you want to call it, I was losing faith that the Democrats would ever get any justice, right? It really takes a man of integrity to really push that shit through. I mean, he is a hero to women in this country. Like, you know what I mean? And look, I'm not under the delusion that it wasn't for purely like political strategic reasons. Like Ro Khanna's like, okay, maybe this is my way to make my stake. But maybe he's just fucking anti-pedophile. Like, there's no evidence to the contrary. Like, I feel like he has really strong moral character for stepping up to the plate in this moment.
Why are they protecting these rich and powerful men, people I call part of the Epstein class? Why are we in a country where there is no elite accountability for people who do the most heinous things? You have in England the king now calling for an investigation and possible prosecution of his own brother.
This shit might take down the fucking monarchy, bro. Like, just to show you like how outsized like the reactions are, right? In America, not shit is happening. Like, feel me? Like a literal Epstein associate is the commerce secretary, and he lied about it on camera. And the Caroline Levitt just said, "Yeah, no, we don't give a fuck." You know what I mean? Versus in the UK, they might lose the king because his brother like was cool with Epstein, right? You know what I mean? He's calling for an investigation on his own fucking brother. Holy moly.
You have in Norway the princess who no longer has support to be the queen. And yet in the United States of America, we have someone in the cabinet, Howard Lutnick, who is all over these Epstein files, who allegedly had business with Epstein after he was convicted of pedophilia, and he still is in the cabinet.
It's really funny that like our political systems are kind of going in opposite directions, right? Because like in Europe, they're like, actually fuck this monarchy oligarchy shit, right? Like they're going that way. But in America, it's like, no, no, no. The next stage for America is to have oligarchs, to have kings, like, you know, where let's have a class of people that are completely immune from consequences. You know, because other countries do it and they seem to be having a good time with it. Like that's just the what the elites of our country are saying right now. You know, I don't know.
We need to ask ourselves, are we in America going to have elite accountability? Are we going to call on rich and powerful people who broke the law or cavorted with a pedophile, a convicted pedophile? Are we going to call them to account? Are we going to have prosecutions for billionaires who went to this island and either raped underage girls or saw underage girls being raped and didn't say anything? Are we going to have investigations? I'll tell you what this is about. It's not just about the 1,200 survivors. It's about 2 tiers of justice in America. It's about people who can accumulate wealth and power and don't have to care about the rest of America. They have destroyed so much of this country.
Yo, he's talking that talk right now, bro. He's talking his shit because this is what needs to be said. It's surprising to me that Democrats won't go this far to like just call it out. It's like they get to live in the lap of luxury and pay you fucking pennies on the dollar. Fucking you eat their crumbs as a 3-course meal, and you are subjected to fucking secret police and fucking you can't even afford to buy a house and Trump wants the fucking prices go up. Like, how is this cool? And on top of that, these elites that are giving you nothing, they're also fucking pedophiles, right? It's like there's no reason, there's no excuse for them. Like, they don't give a fuck about you. It's like, you know. And Rokan is not even like a working class guy necessarily. Like, I know he had some controversy earlier in his career for like some of his like stock trading. I don't know what the status of that is, but you know, I mean, at least he's willing to call out the fact that there's an Epstein class. Like, Epstein is dead. Like, he's irrelevant almost. It's like it's just all the data that we have about these secret societies that we're refusing to act on because our government's fucking in on it. Because they're in it. Literally. They're perpetrating it.
Income inequality is at a 60-year high. Workers' salaries are less than they have been for 75 years as a part.
He's taking a play out of the Mamdani playbook. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, let's bring it back to the fact that you're fucking broke. Like, on top of all this shit, and you're fucking broke.
GDP. Somehow this country seems to be working for the rich and powerful, but it's not working for ordinary working class Americans. I say enough. It's time to begin with accountability for the Epstein class. Hold them in front of Congress, those people who visited the island or did business with Epstein after he was a convicted pedophile. Investigate them, prosecute them, and let's return to democratic accountability in the United States of America.
He's being really clever and not going too far because I'm going to say, like, you know, we need to fucking do bad stuff to them, right? But and it's true, they deserve it morally. But Rokana's like, yo, I just want an investigation. You know, I just want a prosecution. And really, that's all it would take, right? You know what I mean? Because the evidence is there. Like, if the government will just try, I mean, the government has brought cases against people that don't deserve it that ended up being legitimate, right? You know, like, they can find dirt on you, right? Like, and there's already so much dirt. It's just like a fucking fertilizer factory on every single Epstein associate. So they could definitely find some shit on them if they wanted to. You know, just let's look into them at least. Let's at least say that we tried. You know? But I liked little Khanna. Good job. All right. Not gonna CNN. They look-y did some whole shit. Should I just go with New York Post though?
Mr. Speaker, Buddha, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO.
Man, do we need to do this again? Let's see. Let's see today. Looks like the same stuff over and over, bro. Alright, well, fuck it.
Looking at it now, Ed and Jake, are you able to see what he's doing?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. So, FBI Director Kash Patel, just 2 minutes.
Yo. Yo, bro, this is crazy. I wonder if this guy is from Arizona or if he, like, came from out of state to kidnap this lady.
Released new images. One of them is just another, two of them are images, still images of this assailant walk.
He looks like he's, like, fully prepared for this operation. Like, he's got, like, a thick, nondescript hoodie, you know, some long pants, some black leather gloves, and he also has, like, a balaclava. He has a goatee. I wonder if he uses the goatee in like his civilian life too, or if he grew the goatee just for this operation, you know.
Up to Nancy Guthrie's front door, but then the videos, one of them has him holding his glove over the Nest camera and then walking backward and getting a tool or a rock.
No, it's not a tool.
What is he getting?
It looks like he goes back. He goes back out from the porch and grabs some shrubbery off the ground or.
I mean, just for context, like in Arizona, instead of grass, we have like rocks outside, right? And every house has like different size rocks. Sometimes it's just like small gravel rocks, but a lot of the time, especially these decent sized houses, will have full on stones, you know, just sitting there, right? So it looks like he saw the Nest or like, you know, the Ring doorbell equivalent, and he tries covering it a little bit and then just picks up a rock. I mean, this guy is highly prepared because he still had the mask on. It's not like, you know, he did, you know, I'm surprised he didn't know that the doorbell was there, though.
Shrubbery, okay.
And it looks like he was trying to cover the Ring.
Oh, he's trying
camera.
to block the Nest camera. Okay,
So it looks
I
like
see.
he's trying to.
And that's the second image, the second video, I should say, of him taking this shrubbery, these plants from the yard and trying to block the camera.
And so at some point he gives up on that and then just decides
to take the camera altogether. But while he was doing that, the camera was indeed
He's just walking around like a dumbass, or I don't know if they just keep
recording,
looping the same clip
and because
over
of
and
the
over
work
again.
the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff working with the private sector, working presumably with the folks behind these Nest cameras, they were able to get this video. And we're almost 10 days into this missing persons case.
Damn, I guess that's all they have.
But it is pretty impressive information that they were able to get.
I do wonder, Jake, as I'm watching this, you know, we're all trying to figure out, is this someone who planned this deliberately? How long was this planned for? But this suggests to me, and people smarter than me can opine, but you would think you'd know that there was a camera there. Almost like he seems unprepared to cover it up. Like he
was. It's kind of a weird gray area because it's like, okay, you're prepared enough to know that you need a mask in order to approach this house, but you didn't know that there was a Nest doorbell camera on the door, right? I mean, I'm assuming that he cased this house before, right? Like, I'm assuming he knew that Nancy Guthrie was in there, right? Because, like, why even go through the trouble if you don't know if the family has money? So he knows that Nancy Guthrie is in there, but he didn't know that there's a ring. Like, whatever. And also, there is still a pretty high likelihood that the person that perpetrated this, even if it's just a mastermind, knows the Guthrie family in some kind of way, right? Because, like, did the neighbors know? Like, I guess maybe it could be one of them. But even if the guy himself that is like the mastermind of this shit isn't this guy in the mask, he could be connected to someone that could connect, you know? The video is definitely helpful. I don't understand why they didn't release it sooner, honestly.
Seems to me like if you knew the camera was there, you would have brought something to cover it up, or you would have just knocked it off
or
immediately.
gone right to it. It does suggest.
Also, it seems kind of unwise to me that he even has his eyes and lips revealed. Couldn't he have like just as easily like just got like an ice mask and then put some sunglasses on? This is at night, so I mean it would probably be hard to see at night, but he did pretty good of covering all other parts of his skin, because now we know he's like either white or Hispanic, more or less, you know, from how he looks underneath the mask.
And you and I are not sleuths,
No.
but just as humans watching this, it does suggest a lack of familiarity with the security in the front porch.
But then the way he's dressed and covered up and clearly prepared, I mean, the gloves, I mean, there's not an ounce of skin. Clearly someone who's probably thinking, I don't need to drop any kind of DNA around this scene whatsoever.
Yeah,
So he's
although,
prepared for
as
that.
Brianna points out, if you zoom in on the close-up of the...
I mean, that's a good point. It's like he's so covered up that it would be hard to see how any of his blood could be on the ground. They did find blood on the ground outside. Damn, I guess it's like Nancy Guthrie's blood. They didn't release any information about that, you know. Also, too, again, the person running the FBI is a fucking dumbass. Like, Kash Patel doesn't even have any FBI experience, and he's leading this shit. Like, this is a very high-profile investigation. The Pima County can't figure it out. Like, you know what I mean? These are just local cops, so that's dead, right? You know, they're fucked. They don't know. And then you know, the leader of the FBI is a dumbass, and they fired all the people that might be able to help because they didn't pledge allegiance to Trump's dick. So now it's like, fuck, sorry, we can't find this lady. You know, we're at the mercy of the kidnapper. Sorry, like, you know, shit like this happens in other countries where the government can't figure out like who's kidnapping prominent people. You know what I mean? You can't figure it out. This is the greatest country in the world, allegedly. Like, what the fuck? You can't find this random dumbass in Pima County.
Mouth in his face mask, it does seem as though there could be a mustache there. It's unclear. But let's bring in Josh Campbell, our colleague who used to work for the FBI. Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, but these images seem potentially very valuable. They are much more clear on this suspect than images we've seen related to the United Healthcare executive killing or the Charlie Kirk assassination, and both of those resulted in alleged...
He strikes me as I mean, obviously this guy is capable of violence, but he doesn't really strike me as someone that came to be violent per se, right? Like, you can't see like a gun on his hip or anything. He came to do a job. It's really some movie shit. I mean, that's why I'm really interested to know is like, is this really like a secret society covert operation, or is this just a case of like a dummy that, you know, managed to pull it off like a stretch of a take? You know, yeah, and then also too is like the question of like, where are they harboring her, where there's no one suspicious? Like, you know, where are they keeping her? Probably somewhere terrible, but you know, like, fuck, son.
Murderers being captured. These seem even better in terms of the quality and in terms of what's revealed in the images.
Absolutely, and this shows you the advancement in this camera technology that's now available to just the average consumer at their homes. And as you mentioned, in other cases, we have seen where there's a suspect who maybe walks by a camera on a street, and then you get some type of image. Of course, what's so notable here is that the camera is at the front entryway of this home where this person is, appears to be attempting to be entering. So you get all these different views of this individual. The point that you gentlemen made just a second ago, I think, is spot on. When you see him coming up, I say him, the possible subject here.
I know they're just covering their bases, but like, bro, this is obviously a man. Like, you can see his fucking goatee, bro. Like, it doesn't appear like he has a mustache; he just has one.
Looks like this person then goes and finds some type of foliage or plant or flower or something there, perhaps with the intention of trying to obscure that camera. We do know that the camera,
This would be a hard ass album cover. See, like, I might have to take it. Son. That's actually cool as fuck. And this guy's an asshole, by the way. I do not condone his actions, but this picture kind of sweet.
Was eventually removed, and that is why authorities have been taking so much time in order to try to access this image. The FBI says that they were working with private sector companies. When information is deleted, that doesn't mean it just is completely gone. Oftentimes, these computer analysts can go through and look in what's called the slack space of different hard drives, depending on where information might be backed up to, in order to try to resurrect some of that imagery. But you're spot on, Jake, that this is crystal clear. This is certainly much clearer than I think many of us were actually.
That kind of terrifies me, though. Like the fact that even when you delete some shit off your phone, it's like the government could still find it, but you couldn't find it. The best way is to just not even interface with technology, bro. Like if you have some revolutionary thoughts, then keep that shit off the net. Like you know what I mean? Don't click on anything. Don't man.
Expecting. We do see some other things in this video as well. Obviously, the person appears to be trying to obscure not only their face, but you see the gloves that are on there. As I was mentioning earlier,
some feathers.
again, there's a lot we don't know.
Flower.
But criminals
some
these days.
So okay, like he saw the Ring camera, walked back to the rocks, and then he picked up some like foliage from the ground, and he's using that.
Often smart in the sense that they don't want to leave it behind any type of DNA or fingerprints, and so that is the question here: is that why this person is going through these lengths to try to shield his this person's hair to ensure that no fingerprints actually make their way in? And then the last point, I don't know, Jake.
I mean, but at that point, well, how come he didn't just like break it? I mean, I guess breaking it could have like made noise and like alerted her to the sound, but surely this is alerting her to something, right?
There's a lot that investigators would have been assessing before they even release this publicly, and that is every single item that you see on this individual, the backpack, the gloves, the clothing, all of that will be analyzed to try to determine where it came from, what company.
The clothing is so nondescript. I think they're not going to catch him on that. Like, they're not going to catch some guy in this hoodie, and because it's too nondescript. There's not even a fucking logo on it. Like, he's, the black gloves, You can see his eye. I mean, look, you can see his eyes. You can see his mustache. I feel like the mustache is the real problem for him, but.
Sell that? Was there someone who recently was, in a particular retail store buying that?
Because it's like, you can look at this guy and tell he's not black, right? He's not Asian. He's not Native American. But it's kind of vague, though. It's kind of vague, though. I'm not going to lie. Like, he's still kind of hard to.
It takes a lot of work. It's tedious, but that's what would be underway.
And one last thing before I throw it back to you, Brianna and Boris, is it Savannah Guthrie, obviously whose beloved mother.
Let's see this other one.
On the air with a major development in the search for Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. ABC News has confirmed law enforcement is releasing new images of a possible subject in Nancy's disappearance. Authorities believe the 84-year-old was taken from her home against her will more than a week ago. Savannah and her.
Over the last 8 days, FBI and Pima County Sheriff Department have been working closely with our private sector partners to continue to recover any images or video footage from the Nancy Guthrie's home that may have been lost, corrupted, or inaccessible due to a variety of factors, including the removal of recording devices. The video was recovered from residual data located in back-end systems. I mean, I feel like this is over-explaining it. I think they don't really need to know that, but I think he's just trying to signal, like, look, I'm doing some sciencey stuff. I'm doing some forensic stuff. I know what I'm doing. Working with our partners as of this morning. Also, our private sector partners don't love that. Like, I don't like companies in the private sector being partnered with the FBI. That's bullshit. But working with our partners, as of this morning, law enforcement has uncovered these previously inaccessible new images showing an armed individual appearing to have tampered with the camera at Nancy Guthrie's front door the morning of her disappearance. I don't know where they saw the gun. I didn't see the gun in the footage that I just watched, but I'm assuming that he had a gun to this lady's head, to make her go with him. Maybe, though. I don't know. He's full of shit. Like, he spews inaccurate information all the time, so it's kind of hard to know.
Siblings have made multiple emotional appeals even offered to pay for her safe return. A possible ransom deadline passed last night.
Paying the ransom, I get it. Like, I would pay. If I was at the end of my rope, I'd be like, fuck it. I'll pay for my mom back. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, just give her back, bro. But there's no way that the ransom would help your case, honestly. Because if they get a little bit of money out of you, why don't they get a little bit more out of you? Right? Like, when I was a bill collector, like, fucking, they used to, like, these scammers would scam old people mainly, and the old people would send them the money, but then as soon as they sent the money, they started demanding more money until they were completely dry, and then obviously they never got what they wanted, right? Now, now obviously they would want to get rid of this person, their hostage, right? But at that point, if you already got all the money, like, it's better just not to have any witnesses, right? Right? So, it's truly a testament how desperate they are.
Investigators haven't determined yet if the alleged ransom notes were real, and now these images are the first sign of a possible break in the case. Let's get to ABC's chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky. Aaron, what do we know about these images so far?
They appear to come from the doorbell camera here at Nancy Guthrie's home that had been tampered with, according to the FBI. And if you look at these images that appear in black and white, Diane, you see an individual who appears to be wearing a backpack and a mask and gloves. And
God only knows what kind of dark tools are in that motherfucker's backpack, yo. What the fuck could be in your backpack for a mission like this? Maybe like some rope, I guess. Some duct tape or something, and some sedatives maybe. Shit, I mean, that backpack is filled to the brim. Who even fucking knows?
one of those images quite up close to the doorbell camera, the FBI says that is the individual tampering with the camera. The FBI says these images were previously inaccessible because the recording device had been taken, but working with the manufacturer, the FBI was able to recover these images. They are not characterizing the individual depicted in the image in any particular way.
So I guess he stole the ring on his way out. So I guess he covered the shit. Then he broke in, took her, and then on the way out, he took it on his way out, or maybe took her, put her in the car, then broke it. Like I think that's pretty interesting too.
To a message posted on social media by FBI Director Kash Patel. Previously, the FBI has said there are no suspects or persons of interest associated with Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. That now may be changing with the release of these images, though the FBI is not characterizing the individual depicted. You can see.
I mean, this is like classic FBI, because really all they do these days is they try to get some footage, right? They get some footage of him that's definitely him. Then they release it to the public. Then they let, America do the job for them, right? Because someone will recognize this guy, even like this. Like if I broke into a house like this and I was covered the exact same way, but just my eyes and my lips were available, and it was an international news story, like my mom would recognize me, right? Like, my girlfriend would recognize me. My childhood best friend would recognize me, especially if they've seen me recently. So that's probably where this is headed. Like, whoever this guy is will probably get revealed soon, just off the strength of that, to be honest. He should have covered his mouth and his eyes. I don't know why he didn't.
Where the individual might be reaching close.
No, I mean, he shouldn't have, right? I want him to get arrested, by the way, right? But, I've never seen, it's just some movie shit. So it's like, I'm just... You get what I'm saying. Don't cancel me.
To the camera with a gloved hand to try and tamper with the camera before making entry. This was shortly before 2 a.m. at about 1:47 a.m. Mountain Time, according to a previous release timeline, Diane. And then at 2:12 a.m., a camera inside the house that was not set up to record images was able to detect an individual, an intruder, inside the house. And
damn, so she had like a security system too. Damn, yo. What brand was it? So I know that they don't do shit. Or maybe he was just that fast. Who knows?
window when police believe Nancy Guthrie was taken, Diane.
And I want to bring in retired FBI agent and ABC News contributor Brad Garrett. Brad, the FBI director is saying that these images came from back-end data. How does that process work, and how big is this finding?
This week, we're hosting a free trading and investing workshop right here in Scottsdale. Inside this workshop, you'll learn.
Well, I think it's a huge finding. Your answer is how difficult it is. I think the short answer is it depends. But obviously, it took them several days working with, I assume, Amazon, who owns Ring, to come up with these images. But you don't have.
It wasn't Ring. It was Nest. Not to be an actually, but technically it wasn't Amazon.
Clear of his face. There are characteristics of this
Yo,
picture.
is this audio good? Is that me?
That I think are unique.
Brad, your audio is cutting out, so I'm going to go back to Aaron on that. Aaron, any more on how they got these images and what happens next?
We know, according to the sheriff, that they had been working with Google, which owns the Nest security system that Nancy Guthrie had installed. The statement from Director Patel does not specifically say which manufacturer, but that's what the sheriff had told us they were working with to try to recover these images on what the authorities say are the back-end systems. So even if the camera wasn't necessarily recording or the recording apparatus was removed, they were still able to recover the images probably by working with the manufacturer.
And again, like, I don't want to give this FBI any credit whatsoever, because literally all they had to do was just hit up the Nest doorbell camera people and be like, hey, like, can you find a way to, like, get your stuff? Like, I know you guys, like, surveil on your customers. Can I just... And they're like, oh, yeah, totally. You know, we have a secret backlog of everybody's fucking whereabouts that we shouldn't have. But here you go, U.S. government. Lickety split. And then they got that information, and then they looked at the shit, they looked at the photos, and they were like, damn, like, we have no clue who this motherfucker is. So now they're doing the same thing they did with the Charlie Kirk shit. Like, hey, does anybody know this guy? Like, yeah, of course, like, somebody knows this guy, but motherfucker, there's a hostage. Like, you feel me? Like, don't you think, like, putting out their information might endanger the hostage? Like, you couldn't do this shit in a more covert fashion? And maybe they couldn't have, I don't know, but, like, I just have a very low amount of faith in them, personally.
Likely, Diane, with the help of a warrant. So the FBI didn't specifically say, and I'm sure they're not terribly keen to explain how they recovered these images, but they did, and they are now the most important clue that we have seen in the last 9 days. There have been few, if...
It's surprising to me that it took them 10 days to get this, bro. It took you 10 days to hit up the company to send you the shit? Why did it take so long?
He leads.
Like, was it that hard to, like, crack the code and get the shit back? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
No suspects, according to the authorities. And while the individual depicted in a mask and backpack and gloves is not characterized as a suspect, the authorities now have at least one image.
If I was in the... I mean, look, and I'm definitely armchair FBI directoring it right now, but so is the motherfucker in charge, Cash Patel. I would probably look at the shoes, right? Because I'd assume he bought a new jacket, he bought new gloves, he bought a new ski mask, right? But bought new pants, I guess, maybe. But the shoes, you know, maybe not. You feel me? Maybe not. Or, like, you know, well, the size of his shoe could help, maybe. I don't know. We don't know. I don't know.
Go on.
And I want to bring in retired FBI agent and ABC News contributor Richard Frankel. Richard, how big is this development? How significant is this? And where does the investigation go from here?
Yeah, as Aaron just said, this is the biggest development of the investigation in that they do have pictures now that, while not confirming she was taken, but confirming that there was a masked individual immediately before the time that she...
Did this guy just say it wasn't confirming she was taken? I mean, I guess not. I guess not. I'm pretty sure she was taken by this guy, though. Honestly. All right, guys. I gotta pee. I don't even know if there's anybody in the chat right now, but there's not gonna be in a second because I'm gonna need 3 minutes. Grab this. Oh. The prodigal son has returned. Okay. Last one for the day. But I don't know which video to watch. Cyberwaffle. Maybe. Would it be more or less fucked up because he's smaller? Fuck it, bro.
Discord is now going. Discord is now going to add age verification for all its users, so you will have to either give Discord your ID or a selfie to keep using the platform.
Every single platform is headed in this direction, by the way. Like, I think like a real ID for the internet is what's coming, because like the governments across the world aren't comfortable with the fact that you can say anything and it's even mildly anonymous. Right? Like, they want to know what you're doing, especially since they know that the tech companies know, right? Because we just created this culture where it's fine for these companies to have complete and utter fucking knowledge of everything that you do or say. And, you know, and the tech companies are in the government's pocket because the government has resources that they need to be even more ubiquitous, to be even more your life. So, you know, it's kind of hard to know what we're even going to do to fix this problem.
Is pretty problematic because 4 months ago, Discord leaked 70,000 Discord user IDs.
They're not even responsible with your data, too. It's like they demand to know so much about you. Like, they demand to have all this fucking information, and they're not even responsible with it. They're always leaking to the dark web and stuff.
1,000 IDs, like government IDs, like driver's license, passports, they got leaked online because they had to verify their age on Discord for various reasons. In that hack, 5.5 million users.
5.5 million users. Okay, like their driver's license, their passports, like the most vital information that they could have, just because they wanted to use your bum ass app. Yo, I hate Discord, bro. It's confusing. Yeah, I'm old, bro. I was born in 1999. That shit is confusing. Okay, it's like not even the UX is like not even satisfying to me. I mean, it definitely has a lot of utility, I guess, but I don't enjoy being on there, bro. I'd rather just use like WeTransfer. I'd use Microsoft Teams before Discord, bro. Straight up. I would take Microsoft Teams over Discord. That's how much I hate it.
Affected. There were 2.1 million images that were leaked and 70,000 IDs. And now Discord wants everyone to give them their information and pictures and IDs. So Discord has about 600 million users around the world. So
600 million people use this shit? Are you serious? Is it more popular in other countries? Like, that just seems like a lot to me. It still feels niche to me. Like, I know it because of my DJ friends and shit.
Everyone who uses it have to give their ID that will potentially be leaked online is insane. They should not be doing this, but you're gonna have to do this in March, so like next month, very soon. So Discord just...
Look, I never adopted, and now's not the time. Now's not the time, bro. Yo, literally in the state of Arizona, they age gated like pornography, where it's like you need to like sign in with your government ID in order to log into these websites. I just stopped gooning, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not doing that shit. Especially since I don't even know what they're doing. Like, they're tracking what I'm watching. I don't like that. You feel me? I didn't like it when my parents did it. I'm a grown-ass man. What the hell? What the fuck? Like, this is ridiculous. Why is this being normalized? Can we get some politicians that are against this? This seems like too much.
Released this article that we're going to read here. It's their teen by default setting that they're enacting. As part of this update, all new and existing users worldwide will have a teen-appropriate experience by default, with updated communication settings, restricted access to age-gated spaces, and content filtering that preserves the privacy And meaningful connection on Discord. This is so PR. Stop with the PR. We just want the info. This is where the real meat is. It says beginning with a phased global rollout to new and existing users in early March, users may be required to engage in an age verification process to change certain settings or access to sensitive content.
Yo, not to be insensitive to people with kids, but like, why is you having a kid my fucking problem? Like, oh no, like, you know, I don't want kids to see, like, you know, the titties on Discord. All right, well, like, who bought them the device? They don't have a job, right? Like, they don't have a job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where are they consuming this media? Like, in the house that you're paying for, right? Like, why can't you just stop them? I don't get it. Like why does everyone feel like everyone has the right to a device now? Like, you feel me? Like, why? Like, I don't know. Because when I was a kid, like, my mom tried to, like, limit my tech use. And I thought that she was so mean because, like, all my friends had, like, unlimited access to, like, Facebook and shit. But now I'm like, she should have restricted me more. She should have restricted me more. You know what I mean? And look, I feel like part of growing up is seeing age inappropriate things and then processing it for yourself. I think a kid's brain isn't going to explode if they see, like, a boob in a movie, right? But you know, if they're so concerned, I feel like there should be more resources given to parents, not changing the experience for regular people.
Use age-restricted channels, servers, or commands, and select message requests. So what that means is Discord is going to scan your activity and determine how old you are. I don't know if that means they're going to be reading like all your DMs or messages or words you use, because I feel like that's pretty invasive. I don't really know.
They could. I mean, even if it's not their policy to do that, like, once they have the power to do that, of course they will. Why wouldn't they? I mean, like, why wouldn't they? It's more convenient for them, and it would give them a greater platform to make money because they can even see what people are talking about privately. So here's some ads. Like, they're like, why, you know, the government would need to step in. They'd be like, no, you can't read their DMs or whatever the fuck. I don't know what the solution would be, but people need to start thinking of some, all right? Fast, okay?
How they're going to determine this at all. But if they feel like you are under 18, you're going to have to give your ID in order to access certain parts of Discord. So if they somehow, for some reason, determine that you're under 18, you'll have to either provide ID, like government identification, to Discord, or a selfie. You're going to have to take a selfie and
the selfie shit is the one that really scares me because it's getting to the point where, I mean, and we knew it was coming, like, because I knew ever since, like, the iPhone 10 came out, and I was like, oh, wow, like, you could just look at my face and unlock. That's so cool, so futuristic. But then my friend was like, oh, like, it's always looking at you. And I was like, nah, that's bullshit. But it's true. Like, it's constant. It knows what your face is. It knows what makes your face unique to the point where a computer can identify it. That could very easily fall into the wrong hands, right? Especially with, like, this AI grok porn and shit. You know what I mean? Like, your face just belongs to the world now. I mean, it kind of always did, you know? I don't know, but it's concerning is what I'm saying.
Scan your face and figure out if you're under 18 or not. Now, this actually only applies to age-gated stuff. So Discord has different features on servers. There's the 18 plus age-gated channels. And so that's where you can talk about, like, 18 plus content. So by default, all users have access to that, technically, even though if you are under 18, you're not supposed to have that legally. But the old system was pretty much the honor system. If you're under 18, you're not supposed to press the button that says, yeah, I'm 18, I can view this content. That's how most sites around.
And look, you know, playing devil's advocate, it is kind of ridiculous that you just say, oh, yeah, I'm 18. Like, when I was a kid, I would say, oh, yeah, I'm 18 all the time. Like, they never caught me. Like, you know, like, okay, like, whatever. But, shit. And also, to play devil's advocate, like, the internet is rotting kids' brains. It is. The internet is 100% rotting people's fucking brains. Children specific. It's rotting adults' brains, old people, everyone. Kids are just extra susceptible, and I don't even know what kind of people we're creating just by how, like, brain rotted they are, you know? I don't know. I don't know what effect that has on a generation. You know, I got like half of it, but I still remember a world where, like, phones weren't a thing. Like, I remember I did play outside. Like, I did remember an era where playing outside was more appealing, you know, where, like, the PlayStation was kind of limited. And now the PlayStation is life. The PlayStation will suck your dick if you ask it to. I don't know.
world work. But now with this new update, if they think you're under 18, in order to access these channels and servers and even certain messaging features, you have to give your ID and verify your age. Now, if you can't prove your age or you don't want to, you're just going to be forced to have a teen experience on Discord. So ages 13 to 17, I guess. From a legal...
I feel like it's probably going to render the shit unusable to a certain extent, because if I want to talk about like current events, like that's 18 plus, or like I want to talk about like a movie with bad words in it, that's 18 plus, or fucking, I don't know, want to talk about a controversial person, that's 18 plus. Like anything could be considered adult only, you know? What is an adult? Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, you know what I'm saying? It's like I was watching R-rated movies when I was 17. Like, it's, you know, I don't know. And look, like, I don't want underage kids to be consuming like bad stuff, but I really do believe that's on their parents. For sure. That's on their parents. I really believe that.
Perspective and safety perspective for kids, it always makes sense, right? You don't want kids being online to begin with. Like, there's a lot of bad stuff that goes on online, especially targeted towards kids.
Yeah, kids are targeted. They are. They definitely are. But why is this on the companies? I mean, it's kind of funny because like in a different circumstance, I would definitely be like, oh, like the companies are to blame, like for like the oil spills in the ocean, or like how few hours we have to ourselves, and this, that, the third thing, right? Like for sure. But when it comes to like the consumption of art, like I don't really blame a platform. You know what I mean? I don't blame a movie for having boobs in it. Like I don't blame like, you know what I'm saying, the music for having swears in it. I really just, because if it's not hurting anybody, like I consent to consume this, right? You know? I don't know. And it's hard for a digital space because like the strip club checks your ID before you go in, right? So why not a website? But the thing is, it's like we need guarantees that the websites are going to be responsible with our information, and we just live in a zero trust society for that. And I think that I weigh that more than kids consuming harmful content online personally. And I know it's tricky too. Like I don't want kids watching crazy shit, you know? I don't want that, you know? But am I willing to throw away like my social security number for that? No, I really don't give a fuck that much. You know what I mean? They'll get well adjusted eventually. Like if they have good parents, right? Fuck.
Going about it this
Fuck.
way,
I don't know.
Discord doesn't care about kids, first of all. They actually don't care. They're just a company. In my opinion, the governments that write these laws don't actually care about the safety as much as just wanting to be able to control and see who uses what. And of course, parents should be the ones actually making sure that kids don't do bad things online, right? They should be monitoring their children online. But these laws kind of sort of punish everyone, because if you're someone who's over 18 and you want to use Discord normally, like a normal adult, you have to give a selfie or your IDs. But we just talked about how Discord leaked 70,000 like IDs of people, and if your ID,
how are you even still a company after that? Like I know we're way past this point, but it's like, damn son, like the government doesn't give a fuck about privacy. Shit, if I was the president, that'd be on my agenda. Like boost your privacy rights. Like I need some assurance, because then maybe I would be open to something like that. Maybe I would be open to verifying shit online, just making it more secure, maybe like Bitcoin, you know, more dark aspects of online, if I had the guarantee that, you know, there's like a bill of rights for our security, you know. But still, again, like if you give them the power, they're going to use it for evil. It's better if these tools don't even exist.
There, and it's been leaked. A lot of bad things can happen. Things like identity theft and finding people's full names and addresses. A lot of bad stuff can happen if hackers have that information. The way that those IDs got leaked back in October, it was using the third-party service that Discord partnered with to verify these IDs. Whatever service it was said they would delete the IDs and then didn't. And then it got hacked and leaked. But it's still on Discord to make sure that, hey, this information is being handled carefully. Bro. The people who gave their IDs to Discord didn't know it was being given to a third party anyway. So this is how you can verify your ID. So the first level is on-device processing. You can do video selfies for facial age estimation, which never leaves your device. So I guess that's actually pretty good. If you have to do it, you take a selfie and the image is not saved. But it's a private company, so we don't fully know that. I don't
know, like maybe if there was like a mobile device, because it's like I'm a little bit more okay with my personal device having like my biometrics. Like I'm cool with my phone having my face, right? I'm cool with my phone. And in theory, right? Like I'm cool with my phone, just my phone, not Apple as a company, but just my personal device having access to my face or my fingerprint or, you know, my birthday, maybe not my social security number or anything crazy like that, but you know, maybe if my device was age verified, I think that would be fine if Apple couldn't access that. Like, you feel me? Like, if that was like something that was native to my fucking phone, right? Like, I feel like that would be fine. Is there a way to even make that exist? Probably. I mean, we split a fucking atom. Like, I think there's an infrastructure way to make that shit, but there would need to be the political will for that.
Trust it. All right, that's just me. I don't trust it. Quick deletion. Identity documents submitted to our vendor partners are quickly deleted. In most cases, immediately after age confirmation. So that's where I don't believe it at all, because 70,000 IDs were leaked on Discord itself. They're saying it's like quickly deleted using our partners, but it's been proven, like actually proven on Discord, that these partners did not delete the IDs. So, and then sometimes
I'll bet you that they didn't delete them because they want to sell the information, like to data brokers. I bet you that's why they kept them.
Discord might ask for multiple methods or more when information is needed to assign an age group. That's so stupid. And then it also says that your age status cannot be seen by others. So whatever, that, I guess that makes sense. I personally don't like the idea of this because people should be allowed to use whatever service they want online, and giving your IDs to random companies is not the way to go about this. With the main biggest reason is privacy concerns. I am not going to give Discord my ID. That's insane. After what they did with IDs like 4 months ago, there's no way I'm going to do that. So if my account gets marked, goodbye Discord. Like literally, I'm not doing that. I don't even trust them with a selfie anymore, let alone my actual ID. Because selfies also got leaked, by the way, in that leak.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know how you can continue using this company. This is coming from a TikToker, by the way. So, you know, I definitely know about the platform kind of throwing you some curveballs, but I mean, shit, it's not good. I don't like it.